Alright, in this, we'll be discussing how to use fills and strokes. So let's create a new Flash file, ActionScript 3.0, and draw a rectangle with our rectangle tool right here. And you see we have these options for fill and stroke. The pencil icon means it's a stroke, the bucket means it's a fill. So think of the stroke as a border or a line. So let's change this to blue, blue, and change this to black. So our stroke is blue and our fill is black. If we were to draw an object, you'd see that we have the blue as a stroke and the black as our fill. Select the whole object with your selection tool, V for shortcut key, and you see we have this option for stroke. In default, your stroke should be 1. To increase it, you just drag this along, or you can type it in. Let's make this 50. Now our stroke is thick. If we were to click on the style, we would have all these different ways of what our stroke would look like. If we were to select hairline, you would see that our stroke is now 0.10 pixels wide. And what you can do with this, if you were to zoom in, or just click here, zoom in 800%, you'd see that our fill stroke is more still really thin. Let me show you one more. 400%. It's thin, and it's still thin. It doesn't change. What's special about the what's it called, the hairline style is that if you were to keep zooming in and zooming in, it would never get any bigger. For the other styles, it would get bigger if you were to zoom in. It keeps a constant at 0.10. So if I were to switch to solid and then zoom in again, you would see that the stroke has now gotten bigger. If I were to switch it to hairline, it's back to being 0.10. And we could zoom in as much as we want, but we will never see it get any bigger. So that's pretty useful for if you have a game that requires zoom and you don't want users to see the stroke getting really big. So let's select it again, and we have solid, and you can actually change it, unlike hairline, which can never change. If you were to change it, it would turn into a solid. So dashed makes our strokes dashed. If you were to look, it's dashed. Dotted means it would be dotted. Ragged gives us this cool kind of hand-drawn effect, which is pretty useful if you don't want to draw the stroke for yourself. Stippled gives us this kind of like a dotted effect, except it's spread it apart. If we were to drag this out, I'm lagging, but you see that it's making these little dots like a kind of like universe kind of thing. If you were to change this to hatched, it would make these lines, and let's change this back to solid. Now you have this thing called scale. If we were to change this, and I really can't explain this. I'll explain it in another time, but we have this option called hinting. This makes it more smoother for us. It makes it more better, so because it uses mathematics. If we were to look here, we have this thing called cap. If we were to, I'm going to drag stroke. It's round, and you see we have these round edges. If we were to select none, it would take off the round edges and make it straight. If we were to select square, it would add a little more. So that's what it does. Another thing is called the B level, which I really can't explain. I have to use a triangle, so I'm gonna draw a triangle. And I'll explain how to draw a triangle in another video. So I'm gonna drag this. If I were to click on this and drag it really sharp, you'd see we have our triangle, and then if you were to click for its join and click miter, you'd see that our triangle is not so sharp. If we were to increase this to its maximum, you would see that our triangle is getting sharper. If we were to lower this, you would see that it's cut off. So that's what it does, miter. Round makes it the corners round, and B level makes it more cornerish like. So remember this. It's actually pretty useful. And that's it for our tutorial. Thanks for watching.